Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Professor Mikhail with Aces Jiu Jitsu Club, and this is Coach Luke.
What's up?
And here we are at Aces Jiu Jitsu Club talking about side mount fundamentals as we enter into side mount month, which is every month, is it not? All right. So side mount is the position that you take that offers like a huge variety of submissions and a whole lot of control. I know you're gonna love it. Let's get started.
I'm okay. I just had a little fight with a couple of Japanese ninjas.
Your technique is weak, but it could be strong.
All right, so I'm in the guard right now. This is not my favorite place to be. Really anybody's, because you know his legs can do all kind of crazy stuff to me. Armbar me, he can use them to strangle me, choke me. He can get up, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to really talk about passing guard, but good side mounts start inside of the guard pass, right? I'm transitioning, and at some point, I have to start progressively taking this new position. You don't just like fall into a side mount, right? So as I'm passing, it's really important to start assuming the close, right? Assuming the side mount. And how I do, one of my favorite ways to do that is to use what's called a crossface. Here's my crossface, using my shoulder, right, to turn on that position and to close the door. Now there's multiple ways that I can close the door, right? I can close the door with my knee, I can close it with my hand. What you don't want to do is this like age-old like technique where people go under the head and over the arm and just kind of hold on. This is breaking a few really important rules, and it's very easy because there's a big gap right here. It's easy for him to just get back to half guard, right? This technique worked really well, holding on those hands like that, like when no one else knew jiu-jitsu. But now that more people know jiu-jitsu, don't do that. It's not bad, unless you have a time machine, then you can do it. But you probably still shouldn't. Let's keep going. All right. So here we are. Inside of the side mount, I want to put pressure. We'll talk in another video about how to we can make a whole video on how to adequately put pressure to keep somebody down, but suffice it to say that you definitely want to make sure that you put your shoulder on their chin. Here's a really interesting thing. Do this with a friend at home or on the mats or something like that, right? And if I have someone, let's say I take this pressure off, right? I take this pressure off of my partner, and then I just put two fingers, and then I tell my partner to start sitting up. Start sitting up, please. This is really difficult for him to sit up. Oh my gosh, it's even more difficult when I turn his head and put a little pressure on his chin. Now when he tries to sit up, it's even more difficult for him, right? This is called leverage, and this is how you keep somebody who's a lot bigger and stronger than you down. Right? I don't want to put, notice he could move a little bit when my fingers are on his head, but when I put my fingers on his chin, there was even more restriction, right? Couldn't you feel that, Coach Luke? Mm-hmm. Right? So when you put your shoulder there, which is going to be arguably way stronger, right, in my two fingers, then you're going to have so much more recruitment, and you're able to hold down 300+ pound people with large ease, right? That being said, boom, here we are inside of the side mount, right? There's a few core fundamentals in the side mount that you want to make sure that you observe. Whenever your knees are on the ground, they slow you down. One of the things I like to talk about with my students whenever I teach is to get them to repeat this little device, which is awesome. Knees on the ground, slow you down. Now you say it. Knees on the ground, slow you down, right? Whenever my knees are on the ground, I have to take them off the ground in order to move, which means I'm a little more slow. Does that mean never put your knees on the ground? Not necessarily, but it does mean you will be more slow, and you get to make decisions about your life, right? I personally prefer mobility, so I don't like for my knees to be connected to the ground too much and or very often. And when they do, just be aware you're going to be a little bit slower for that moment, right? Once I'm here, let's talk about one of my favorite techniques, which is the Americana, right, from this position. So in this Americana, it's because I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot, right? So here I am inside of the Americana. The Americana, his hand comes up towards his head, and the Kimura, another video that we will make. I'm sure we've made other Kimura videos. His hand goes down towards his hip, right? There's a whole history behind the name of that, named after a gentleman named Kimura. I'm sure you can Wikipedia that. Talk about that another time, right? So once we're here inside of the Americana opportunity, right? I prefer, this is my preferred way of teaching this technique is to, for first timers, boom, is just bring this hand and hand it to my own hand, right? Now that I've handed it to my own hand, I release his head, and now I just grab my own wrist. So now you notice both palms are facing in the same direction. That's how you know you're doing it right, especially for beginners. This is not correct. Both palms facing in the same direction is correct. Now I'm gonna motorcycle this technique. I'm gonna motorcycle, turn my knuckles down, boom, while maintaining pressure on his elbow. If you do it this way, unlike most other Americanas, you get a twofer, and I love deals. Right, so here I am, boom. Now think about this for a second. I'm doing an elevated Americana where the arm is up, but I'm really simulating the standard Americana. And the standard Americana, repeat after me. Wrist down, elbow up, that's the way I like to Americana, right? Wrist down, elbow up, that's the way I like to Americana. You won't remember, you won't forget that now, will you? Right, so I put the wrist down and I bring the elbow up, boom, and that makes the Americana. If I rotate a little bit more, boom, it turns on even faster. Now I don't have to have the ground, but I'm gonna pretend the ground is underneath the arm, and as I say, wrist down, elbow up, boom, and I turn on the Americana, right? This is, now you're able to hit Americanas whether he's, forced his own arm up, his arm's on the ground, you're able to hit it in multiple different angles because of you have a better understanding of the concept now, right? That's a fantastic technique. I love it. You have some extra fundamentals as well. I'm excited about the other cool opportunities that are going to come from your ability to utilize this Americana because it opens up so many like top side mount positions. If you have any other questions or comments about this technique, leave them in the comment section below. Make sure to share, subscribe, and look forward to sharing more with you. Keep training, keep growing. Os.